I hope you can see my screen. So we created a table yesterday, which was the employee table, and within the employee table, we created a couple of there. We also referenced the user table to get the user ID, right? That's all we did yesterday. If you scroll down below here and see the list of column names, you see one node which is known as indexes, right? These are the database indexes you create on a table, right? You can create your own index by scrolling down and using this index creator section here down the page, right? Where you go ahead.
What page is that? Go up a little bit. I want to see where you are on the email account.
Okay. Go to the tables and
Is
columns.
it table? Oh, okay.
Go to the tables and columns.
You are on the tables and columns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now go to the table we created yesterday, which was employee.
Yes.
Right? Now, in the column listing that we see here, these are our custom columns. You can expand those columns here, and along with columns, you have indexes available here. Right? These are table indexes. Right? So the system automatically creates one index, which is sys_id. However, you can have your own index here by using this index creator section down the page. It says select the fields that should be included in the index. Only those fields from the tables selected above are available, right? So you go ahead, pick the table name, like you pick this employee. The table name will automatically be selected as employee here, and then go ahead and pick the index column and select it and create index. That's it, right? Now it says ServiceNow will generate you index for you in background so that you can continue other work while the index is being created. Upon completion of the index generation, the system will send you a confirmation email unless you specify otherwise, right? I want to get that email, so I'll put my email ID here. So when the index creation is completed, the system will send me an email saying that index creation has been completed successfully, right?
Okay.
So it is kind of offloading the index creation activity in the background thread, not letting you disturb your current activity. So that will be created in the background, and when it's done, an email will come to my inbox. Let's see if it comes there. Okay. So that was related to indexes. Now let's keep this table selected, employee table selected. And we know that when we created this employee table, we used user table as a reference, right? We had a user table that we used as a reference. Now, let's assume that you created this employee table some 30 days back, right? And now today you want to see all the references that this table has in one single view. Do you have a feature available in ServiceNow that will let you see all the relationships between your table and other tables? Yes, we have that feature available. So for that, you have to select this table. We are going to select this employee table right now, and then you go ahead and select this button, schema map. Hit this button, schema map, and it will show you a diagram of the tables interrelated right? Typically with the current table, the chosen table that you have chosen will be selected and marked as yellow, and the other related tables will be displayed as is here, and it shows that there is a relationship between these tables, right? And it shows from this table the fields which are marked as red will be, it signifies that this column has been related to this user table somehow, right? And on this user table, we have several red mark fields, which shows that this table is in itself related to some other table. Make sense? It is a diagram to show the relationship between tables, right? So you can go ahead and visually see how the tables are related. And there are types of relationships. See, this is show reference tables relationship. You can go ahead and uncheck it to see only those relationships that you want to have. Since I unchecked this show reference table and employee table is there was only one relationship that we built, and that was to reference the user table. Now that we have unchecked this show reference tables, I'll not be able to see the reference of the user table here, right? Because I took out that type of relationship from here. To get that back, check this, and then you will see this again. Okay? Let's go ahead and see some other table which has more relationships. For example, this server table. This is a table in CMDB. I'll go ahead and pick that table and try to see the relationships. See, the server table comes in between here in the second column, and it is highlighted, and then it has relationship to various tables, like it is related to asset table, user table, location, department, group, product model, Windows Server, load balancer, database, etc. Now, in order to understand what type of relationships it has, you have to see the legends here. The legends here you have are blue colored, green colored, amber, and red, right? So as you pick those, for example, if you only want to see reference tables, those tables that this server table has referenced, right? Get get just this legend selected here, and you will see only those tables CMDB CI server table is referencing, right? So it is showing just one-way relationship right now. It means CMDB CI server table is right now referencing all these tables for some data. Okay. Now, if you want to see all the referencing tables, meaning all those tables which are referencing the CMDB CI server table, these are the tables. The database table is referencing server table, the X server table is referencing the server table, and the cluster node table is referencing the server table. Right? It shows you a different type of relationship of what are the tables that are referencing this server table. Right? Let's go see the other one. The other one is show extended table. Right? It will show all the tables CMDB CI server has extended, right? And it shows CMDB CI server has extended CMDB CI computer table, and CMDB CI computer table has in turn extended the CMDB CI hardware, and then CMDB CI, and then CMDB, right? So at the core of it, the base table would be CMDB, and the CMDB table has been referenced by the CMDB CI table, likewise CMDB CI server, hardware, computer, and then server. So this gives you a chain of relationship between different tables that has been established in ServiceNow. Okay. Now the last one is show extending tables. So it's just the opposite of what we just saw, and it shows to you what are the tables that have extended this CMDB CI server table? Okay, see the blue ones. It says CMDB CI server hardware table has extended this table, right? And you can see the column listing as well here, right? Expand and see the column listing. So it shows that these are the tables that have extended CMDB CI server table, right? So for example, if I go into CMDB CI server underscore hardware table, let's go into, this is the table, right? If I go into and do edit table, it shows to me that the server table has been extended. See here. Okay. It shows that CMDB CI server. The display name for that table is server table. See, the display name is the server table. And it here shows that the CMDB CI server hardware table has extended this table. Okay. So that's how we can use this schema map to see the relationships between the tables that we create. Are you still with me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. See, that's how we see the relationship between different tables, right? Mark this on for all, all those checkboxes to see all the references at a time. That will be very useful when you do CMDB relationships, when you have to understand how the tables are interconnected, right? And you will use this CMDB, this schema map pretty much to understand how the tables are interrelated. Okay, now let's go back. I think the email has come for index creation, right? See, I wanted to create an index on the table, which is employee table, and I scheduled it there, and now it now sent me an email, and it says in the index creation result success, right? And it reads, index creation began at this time, index creation completed successfully at this time, generated index name is this, right? That's the email system sent out to me, right? We will see how we can create such notifications. Now let's go back to tables and columns. And we were about to see some important tables like we did see system DB object table yesterday, which is a table of tables. Right? Another table that we have is sys dictionary that contains additional details of each table and definition of each column on each table. If I go to the system dictionary table, it may have multiple records for a single table. Let's go and see for employee table, or maybe incident table. See, I am into the incident table now, and I am into the dictionary entries table, and it is showing records for the incident table, and it shows all the records for the incident table that has different columns, and it keeps details of dictionary stuff. It shows that these are the columns and these are the column types, these are the reference types, you know all the type information will be stored in here. Some of the tables attributes will be stored here, just to make sure that whatever setting that you do on the table will be recorded somewhere, right? So dictionary entries is the correct table where you have this feature then, right? If we go to incident table and we do create new, and if you want to change some properties of this field itself, right, you can go ahead, hover on the field, right click and configure dictionary. When you do configure dictionary, you actually go ahead and edit the dictionary table for that entry, right? And then whatever modification you do, for example, if you want to change the max length for that table, you can go ahead and do that right from here, right? So all dictionary level changes you can go ahead and do in the dictionary table here. We will see about dictionary later. We'll come to know what dictionaries are. Another table would be sys documentation table, which is also known as language file. So this sys documentation table contains human readable labels and language information. See, there could be a requirement for you. For example, let's assume that you have 5 customers that you are serving right now. You have this incident application in place, and then you have 5 customers. All of them are using your incident application. Let's name these. These are your customers, C1 to C5. Now all of them are using your incident application, but the customer C1 says that I don't want to see the incident application. I don't want to see this number as incident number. Rather, I like to see this number field as a trouble number field. Right? That's his requirement. The second one says I'm okay with incident. Keep it incident. The third one says I don't want to see this incident field here. Neither I want trouble field. I like to have issues or something, issue number, right? The fourth one will be happy to have incident there. Fifth one will also be happy to have incident there, right? Now you have the same application, same form, same field, but all 5 of your customers have their different requirements, right? Now in that case, how do you make sure that the same form can be utilized by all these customers and they will have their own look and feel, they'll have their own UI, and the field name will be different than the other customers, right? If you have a requirement of this sort, then you will have to play with this language file, you will have to play with this dictionary entry, and then in that case, in that scenario, you will have to refer to sys documentation where you can go ahead and alter the field labels or languages, right? And then you can do overriding of that field label, right? You can go ahead and override that field label, and then the customer which is requesting trouble or incident or issue number will be able to see trouble, incident, and issue number when they open their incident page, right? So that's related to dictionary override. Okay, just wanted to make sure that you understand this concept right now. We'll be doing dictionary override later.
Can you go over a little bit again?
Okay, sure.
I understand the creating individual UI, right?
Yeah, you don't want to create individual UI. You want to utilize this application, this form, this page, but then
Mm-hmm.
you want that for the customer one, this number field should appear something like trouble number, right? But
Yeah.
then if you go ahead and change the dictionary entry and put the trouble number there, it will be applicable for all the customers.
Okay.
Right? Because you are going ahead and you are altering the table at the base level. But you don't want to do that, right? You don't want to show trouble number to all the customers. You want that each of these customers sees things differently. Customer 1 will see trouble, the customer 2 will see incident, the third customer will see the issue number.
Okay.
Right? So for that, you have to go ahead and you have to alter the sys documentation table. You have to go into the sys documentation table, play with this label record, and then you have to override these fields for different customers. When you override, different customers will see different labels there. The same field, right? When they store data, they will store data in the same field, same column, same table. But when they fetch that data out, they'll see the name of the field as different.
Okay.
Okay, so you are overriding things. You are hiding that core label name, and then you are giving their own label names so that they can see that, right? And that's done. We'll be doing that
Yeah.
in some sort of exercise in next classes. So for that purpose, this table says documentation will be important. Right? As an administrator, we were able to create database index. You can, you can activate audit logs on tables. By default, table auditing is not allowed when you create new tables. But then you can create audit logs for the tables by adding a property on the table itself. The audit logs for the tables get stored in some table known as sys underscore audit. If I go into sys underscore audit dot list, I'll see all the audit logs created for these tables, right? And whatever changes that you do to the table, and if the table has been marked active for audit logging, the changes that you do will be recorded into the sys audit table, and you can utilize this audit log table later on to find out who changed the table structure, right? And from the comments, etc., you can also see why was the table changed. Make sense? So if you are an
Yeah.
administrator and you want to see the history of the table that you created, how that table was created and how it was altered, what type of relationship it was started to, it was, it was, what kind of relationship it maintained, etc. If somebody changed that, so that kind of information will be stored into the sys underscore audit table. Sys underscore audit table. Okay. So to enable auditing, because by default auditing is not allowed on any table that you create. To enable auditing, you will have to go to system definition, go to dictionary, and then pick the table you want to enable auditing on. Let's go ahead and do it. Right? If you go there, there will be a table column for that table. For in this case, instant table, there is a type known as collection. So you have to go ahead and look into that record, and then you have to go into this audit column and enable the property value to true. Right? When you do this property value to true, this table will be set up for making entries into audit table, right? If you do not do that, if you mark this as false, you will not be able to see any audit trail for this table in the sys audit table, right? So this is how you enable audit trails. Now, one of the features that come into picture is when you go into the incident form and you have enabled the audit log on the table, you will be able to see, hang on a second, you'll be able to see the history contextual menu item here, right? This menu item here comes after you enable audit log on the table, okay? And if I do history and do calendar, it will show the calendar for that table, and it will show on what date the table was created, what day the table was altered, stuff like that. Okay? So the benefit of having the audit log is that you can see who altered the table, right? And why was it altered? What are the changes that we are doing to the table? It is even showing how many requests were inserted in the table, right? How many emails were sent out of the table. And it is showing to me that from this table, these number of emails were sent out. This is showing audit information about fields in the table, right? Additional information about the field changes in the table, stuff like that. All the information will be there when you have audit log enabled on your table. You can go ahead and do history and list. It will show out the history list information, history record information about that incident table. It will show the audit history, right? So basically, to keep track of whatever changes that you do on a table at a table level, and you are an administrator, if you want to make sure that whatever changes are done to the table are recorded somewhere, and you can later go ahead and find out why that was changed, you must enable system audit log on that table, right? And then you can see that. Now you can go ahead and put a report on the sys audit log table, right? And that report may, so no, in that report, you can go ahead and put a condition like fetch a report on the incident table to find out what are the fields that were changed by any person between these durations, right? You put a start date, you put an end date, and then you ask the system to send out a report that will show what were the changes done on the table, right? You can use that system audit log table to get that data out, right? We will do that when we start doing ServiceNow reports. Any question until now? Please ask questions if you have any. If you have any doubt.
Mr. Rao.
Yep.
I saw a slide that you were using where you went and look at the system documentation. Is this something available to us, or that's for your own?
Yeah, I can send that to you.
This one.
Yeah, I can send that to you. I'll send that to you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Right. Any more questions? I want to hear questions from other participants as well. Please keep asking if you have any questions. Now let's go back to the tables. We have a couple of more concepts left there, and then we'll be done with tables. I'll go back to employee table. Now table creation is done, index creation is done, we have seen schema map. If you want to delete all records of the table, select the table and hit this delete all records, right? When you do that, it will ask for a confirmation. You have to type delete here, and then it will delete all the records from the table. I don't want to delete the record from this table right now, but this is how you can delete all the records from the table. The table structure will not be deleted, right? The table will still be there, but the records will be cleaned. So this is somehow table cleanup activity that you do. Okay, let's go into the
Okay.
edit table, and now when I open this table, see, some of the fields will be read only, and that's obvious because we created that table and we have supplied a name. We will not be able to change the name of the table, right? That's one thing. Now when I scroll down, I see some related links coming in here, right? This label reads related links, meaning these are the links or shortcuts which are related to this table, right? ServiceNow this has this very powerful feature that will show to you all related links or related stuffs or the activities that you can do in terms of related links here on the form itself, and you can go ahead and open that link to see what it does. For example, if using this table I want to design the form that we designed yesterday, you can go ahead and right away open up that form designer, and then you can change the layout of the form, right from the table detail here. You can play with the table layout using the table layout here, where you can create views as well for the table, right? The other one is layout list, which will show to you how to present your list layout. And list layout we saw yesterday. If we go to u underscore employee dot list, it will show to me this list layout. And in this list layout, I have these columns right now. If you want to have more columns, if you want to change the layout, you can play with this and change the layout. Next one is show form. When you do show form, it will show you how the form will look like, right? Show schema map, we just did. We saw the schema of that table. Show list, it will show to you the list layout and present to you the data that you have in the table. Let's go back. Next one is add to service catalog, right? Service catalogs are just like catalogs that you have in some restaurant, where you present all the available cuisines in the restaurant, right? So when you go into the restaurant boy will present to you the menu or the catalog that will list out all of the food items available in the restaurant, right? So on the same lines, service catalog is an item available in ServiceNow that will show to you what it has got, right? So if you go to my self-service page, if you go to the home page, if you are onto the my self-service page, it presents to you the catalog that it has. See here, there is one knowledge search, there is one category which is can we help you. So this is like menu from the restaurant. It shows what all you can do from here. Okay. So these are the items that you can do. So you can go ahead and add this item to the service catalog. For that you have to do add to service catalog. Put the catalog information here, short description, and then hit this lookup field to pick the appropriate category, whatever category you want to associate it to. For example, right now I have went ahead and I have associated that employee record into this can we help you category. See, I created this add employee record catalog here, right? And that catalog item I created using this screen, right? I selected from some fields from this screen that will be displayed when we open this catalog item from here. So when I open this add employee record, it will give you a screen that you can use to feed in data into the table. For example, this is the employee ID I'm trying to put here. Okay, here's the name of the person. Any number and user ID, right? And then I submit it. Let's go back and see the employee table. Now I can see that another record has been created that has this record that was filled from the service catalog item there. Okay? Make sense?
Uh, yeah.
But you might wonder, it allowed you to have this number that you entered manually, right? Let's go into, I'll quickly go ahead and edit that catalog item. This is done using record producer. I'm not going to talk about record producer right now. Let me see if I deleted that. Update it. What is you underscore employee.list table. Have it here. Table employee. It can go here. See, I went ahead and removed that number field from the service catalog item here, and now I can go ahead and put some employee ID, Tom, Kelly, salary, David, and submit. Let's go into this table and refresh it. New underscore employee dot list. Now I see that for Tom, the number was generated automatically, right? The reason that we had this number is that we were overriding using the service catalog item, right? I went ahead, I created that add employee record service catalog item, and then I left the number field here. When the user kept in the number field, the information into the number field, that value overridden, that value overrided the value that was getting supplied by the system automatically. Now that I have gotten, I have removed that field from here, the system will automatically put that value here, and you will not have that custom value entered by the user. Okay? So that's one way of allowing your users to populate values into the table, right? So that the user does not have to go into this employee table here and then hit on this new button and then create records, right? You don't want to do that. You don't want to expose that thing to the user. All you want to expose that to that user is to go ahead and go look into the can we help you section, add employee, right? You have a simple form here with having 4 or 5 columns or fields. fill in the information, save it, and those information will be directly stored into the table. Very simple, right? And that's done using the Add to Service Catalog item available on the related link section of the table when we open the table in edit mode. Using this related link, Add to Service Catalog. Okay? The next one that you have here is Explore REST API. Do you have any idea about web services?
It's an application interface.
Yeah. Have,
Hmm.
have any one of you worked on web services?
A little bit,
A little
yes.
bit. Okay. I'm drawing a simple diagram here. Let's assume that you are a pizza company. Sam, what place are you from?
Excuse me?
What place are you from? Where do you live in right now? Where are you speaking from?
Washington, D.C. area. I
Okay.
live in Maryland, but I work in D.C.
Okay. So this is your company, Sam's Pizza Company. Let's assume that it has.
Okay.
Okay. You have one store in Washington D.C. Right? You opened up this
Mm-hmm.
store. You have a system in place for your pizza delivery, the store management, etc., etc. Right? You ask some IT guy to create an application that will take care of all your needs, IT needs on the store. Okay? You started your business.
Okay.
Your pizza company, your pizza store is working very fine, right? You are making good money off this pizza company here. Now that now that you have seen that you are succeeding in this pizza business, you would like to open a new store, right? Let's talk
Mm-hmm.
about opening a new store in New Jersey.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
But you don't want to have another application which is a standalone here. You don't want to do this,
Okay.
right? All you want to do is use the same database somehow, reference this
Mm-hmm.
database here so that you have a single interface that will you will have single database, all the sales records from this store and from this store and from this store will be stored in a single repository, so that if even if you have to pull out report from both the stores sitting at one place, you can go ahead and do that, right?
Okay.
Right? So you do not need this standalone application anymore, right? So you had this standalone application which was self-contained, which had a database. All your transactions that you did on the store was getting stored into the database. But now that you have one more store in New Jersey, you might have several more stores in, let's say, Texas, Denver, or some any other place, right? So you want a centralized application that will take care of all your needs from all your stores that you have across the US, right?
Okay.
So in that case, you will try to extend your capabilities from this standalone application and this database to all other stores, and that you can do by exposing this database using a web service, right?
Okay.
So you will
Uh-huh.
open some endpoints here on the database, and those endpoints will be known as web services, and using different data exchange mechanisms, You can expose the database, send out data to the different stores, and get data from different stores that you have into this database as well. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So that's why you need a web service that will do this for you. Extending your standalone environment to make it more interconnected or interfaced with different other environments, right?
Yeah.
Now this is one simple example of connecting your own systems. This is this is when you are just connecting your own systems, right? Sam's Pizza store from Washington DC to Sam's Pizza store in New Jersey, right? But but
Yeah.
how about if you have to deal with some third-party companies as well? Let's talk about if you have to deal with a company that supplies you breads, the pizza breads or basil,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you have to manage an inventory of pizza bases so that the needs that you have on your stores is fulfilled. You have to keep track of all the pizza bases that you buy from my company, and you have to have the supply chain mechanism established for all the stores that you have across the globe or across US, right?
Sure.
Then you
Yeah.
like to extend your application and supply some of the features of this database to my pizza based company, right? So that you expose that you have X number of pizza bases left in this store, Y number of pizza bases left in that store, and then accordingly you supply information, you send out request for supplying pizza bases to my company, right?
Yeah.
So you are again interfacing with a third party system, right? So using web
Yeah.
services, you can exchange data within your own systems as well as within any third party systems which is capable of handling web services, right?
Okay.
This is something that we'll be doing in ServiceNow, and this will be a part of the integration initiatives that we do in ServiceNow. Okay?
Okay.
For that, we have this Explore REST API. Again, REST is a type of web service, a type of data exchange mechanism, which is known as representational state transport, something like that. Let me see the definition of it. It's representational state transfer, right? So you have the ability to expose the REST APIs where you can go ahead and pick the table, and then you supply some of the input parameters, and then you can see how the data is getting exchanged and how the data will be supplied to third party system, right? This is how you will be sending the information to third party system, and now the third party system will pass through this information that you get here in some form of JSON exchange or XML exchange, and then get out the data, because all you have here is key value, key value, key value, key value, right? It says that at this point of time you are sending one record from the table, which is where the number field is 125, this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mod count is 0. The employee ID associated is that you are sending is EMP12345. It was updated on this date. System tags are null. Last name is Kumar. The first name is Mukesh. This is the sys ID. So these are the information that you are sending out to the person, to the third party, right?
Yeah.
And this is the endpoint that you expose, right? And this is how you get the information to at the third party level, right? At the third party end, you get this information. Now you can pass through it. You can pass through these XML response that you have and get out the values that are supplied by my system. Okay. So for that,
Okay.
we'll be having REST API Explorer that will give you the ability to extend your application or your data to some third party system, and you will be able to interface your system with other third-party systems. That's using REST API Explorer, right? We'll be doing that in
Okay.
detail when we reach up to that level, right? REST API Explorer and SOAP API Explorer, SOAP APIs we'll be talking about later. Then this is tracking update sets. Again, we have to do update sets later, but these are components which are used to record the changes that you are doing on a current object. For example, if you are doing any change, you can track those changes in update set. These changes that you are doing on the current object will be stored in some sort of XML notifications. Now you can use that XML file to export that changes from this environment to some other environment. For example,
Mm.
the changes that I did on this instance, my instance, if I want to provide you, if I want that the same changes that I have done on my instance, I should give it to you, right? And I ask you to make the same changes on your environment. So the best way of doing that is to have an update set there, and I can download that update set. I can send that update set to you, and you can import that update set in your environment, in your instance, and the same changes that I did here will be imported into your instance. How about that? Right? So update set will
Yeah.
be a simple XML file generated by the system where the system keeps track of whatever changes that you are doing, the structural changes, not the data. Whatever structural changes that you are doing will be stored in that file, and you can use that file to import the information that you did, the changes that you did to the system into some third-party instances, and all the changes that you did in the source system will be cascaded to the target system. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let's talk about, let's go to the employee table first. U underscore employee dot list. I have 3 records here. Let's go to tables and columns. I'll go to employee. Oh, I just deleted the record from the table.
You did? I
Yeah,
thought you didn't.
yeah, I did. Deleted 3 records from the employee table.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, I didn't want to do that. So let's assume that there is a situation where you deleted some records from the table. You are in the production environment. Inadvertently, you deleted
You'll
records
be,
from the table. Can you recover those records? Right? Yes, you can. As an admin, you can recover those records that you have deleted. For that, you have to go into system definition application, and you have to go into deleted records module, right? When you go there, pick the table name. I think the system scoping is incorrect. That's why the table name is not appearing here. My table is not appearing here. Anyways, all you have to do is you have to go into the table, right? You have to go into the deleted records and find out the table. For example, if I go and let me see for a moment. I think the scoping issue is there for tables. I'll go to tables and columns. I'll go to employee, and I'll go to edit table. Looks correct. Somehow it is not appearing there. So this is system definition. If you have to recover records from the deleted records from the table, go into the deleted records section, pick out the records that you want to see or recover, and then you have to hit this undelete record. right? When you do this undelete record, the records that were deleted will automatically be, restored to the table.
Oh.
Okay. I'll try to find out why I am unable to find the employee table here. Let me see if I am doing it correct. Because it should give me, yeah, we have the employee table here. Now see, on one end, if I refresh this table, I don't have the data, right? Because I deleted those data. Now that I want to recover it, I can go here and I can undelete this record. When I do undelete this record, I should see one record here. See, one record is back.
Yeah.
Right? You can go ahead and...
That's cool.
Yep, that's very, very cool. You can go ahead and select multiple records, scroll down, and then you can hit undelete record. Right? When I go back, refresh list, it will show me all the records now because I restored all the records from the table. Okay?
Okay.
So I think that's pretty much on the tables and columns. That's all we'll be doing related to tables and columns. The next step is to create applications on the basis of the tables that we created. Right? And when we talk about applications, we talk about applications like this, the marketing event application here. Right? So all these modules that you see are associated to some sort of tables in the backend. Right? For example, this all equipment request table or marketing events table module is associated to some marketing event table, right? All equipment request module is associated to some equipment table. Attendees module is related to some attendees table, right? So next step for us is to create an application basis some of the tables that we created or some other applications and see how to associate applications with tables, applications with modules, and modules with tables, etc. Okay? On the basis of that, we'll have our own application here, and that will have different modules that we want to have.
Okay.
Okay?
Good.
Let's do that tomorrow. We'll be talking about applications tomorrow, and we'll do that. For now, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, when you finish, tomorrow I may probably have to follow your recording because I got to pick up my wife from the airport at the time we are having the class. So I may not be able, if I come, I will come in the middle of it, which is okay. But because I will follow your recordings when you send it to us.
Sure, no problem. If you are able to come later as well, you can come and join. If not, I'll definitely send the video recording.
Yeah, so you don't have to do it with me again. Thank you.
Thank you.
And my next question, I know you're about to wrap up. How is our schedule look like? Is it Monday through Friday or Saturday and Sunday or whatever?
I'll take a break on weekends maybe. Sunday maybe one day, but then on Saturdays maybe we can do extended sessions if you agree, like 2-hour sessions, so that we cover more.
Okay.
And you all have to agree on that. So if you agree, we can do extended sessions over Saturday, right?
Maybe Saturday a little bit earlier or what? I don't know your time.
Yeah. See, my time is right now. It's 8:05 a.m. Right? It's morning.
Wow.
Yeah, and we started at 7:05. 7:05. Yeah, today.
Right, so it means it's on Friday for us, right?
Right. You
like
are,
which you're gonna take.
yeah.
Okay.
You mean what? I didn't hear you, Ashish. What was your question?
Yeah. So my Saturday will be your Friday. Will that work?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
your Saturday will be our Friday,
Right.
which is Friday by this time. All right?
Right.
Which is tomorrow. You're talking about tomorrow class, right?
Right. Right. Tomorrow class.
Okay.
That's okay for me, sir.
So tomorrow, even if you join late, we can do extended session, and you know, we can
Yeah,
do like 2 hour session.
that'll be
Okay,
fine.
sir. That's okay for us. That's fine.
Okay, and then your Saturday, I'll take a rest, and then we'll do on your Sunday. That's my Monday.
Okay, sir. No problem.
Okay, Sam.
Okay, that'll be good.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Yep.
Okay, take care.
Have a good
Bye.
night. You take care. Bye.